Alright, so something happened last week that I really wanted to cover, but I never really kind of got around to it. I don't want to put it up as a full-feature, unplugged video, but I still want to go at this. This is pretty fucking brilliant. Now, if you know anything about, say, Jim Sterling and the controversies surrounding the Steam Greenlight system, then you'll have heard of this wonderful little group of shit nuggets named Digital Homicide. Well, a lot of not talking was done last weekend about a certain event, and I'm gonna tell you about that. Valve bans developer from Steam after it sues customers over bad reviews. Digital Homicide's games are removed by Valve for being too hostile to users. A game developer has been banned from Steam after users claimed that it had attempted to sue 100 users of the platform for $18 million for the crime of leaving bad reviews. Digital Homicide, which was released dozens of small games, mostly available for a couple of quid each, had its titles removed from Valve's popular digital distribution platform on Friday night. Its boss, James Romine, was granted a subpoena by a court in Arizona, apparently allowing him to demand the release of identification and associated data of anonymous Steam users. Huh. That doesn't sound familiar at all. The lawsuit listed in turn the misdemeanors of dozens of Jane John Does, which include counts of harassment, stalking, and cyberbullying. You know, it's almost like I've heard this before somewhere. In a brief email sent to Vice's motherboard at the end of last week, Valve's marketing VP Doug Lombardi confirmed that Valve has stopped doing business with Digital Homicide for being hostile to Steam customers. However, Romine hit back over the weekend, accusing Valve of failing to provide a safe environment by not dealing with a high volume of abusive comments from Steam users and showing a reckless disregard for the well-being of their community for profits. I'm really having a hard time placing it, but I feel like I've heard these kinds of arguments before. We submitted numerous reports and sent multiple emails in regards to individuals making personal attacks, harassment, and more on not only us but on other Steam customers who were actually interested in our products. The lawsuit that was submitted in regards to a handful of Steam users has been labeled by the media and now by Doug Lombardi's statement as being hostile to Steam users in general, which is incorrect. The lawsuit recently filed is solely in regards to individuals where no resolution was able to be obtained from Steam to provide a safe environment for us to conduct business. He went on to point out a number of examples of the admittedly bracing abuse he and his company had received.
I want to murder every single person responsible for this.
Calm down there, unless you want Digital Homicide to actually have leverage against us and or Jim. Cool it with the death threats. Predictably, users haven't taken kindly to the lawsuit, and aggressive comments on the developer's Steam group have been pouring in. See you in digital hell, Digital Homicide. You guys just won the award for worst game developers in all of human history. This is not Digital Homicide's first brush with controversy. Earlier this year, the studio pursued a separate yet-to-be-settled lawsuit against the semi-celebrity game critic Jim Sterling, demanding $10 million in damages for a series of bad reviews of its games going back to 2014. Romine's GoFundMe account, set up to fund the suit, has made just $425 of his $75,000 goal, even though he claims he received a pile of feces in the mail, and that he had messages saying things like, "Your wife is a whore, and I hope you die in a fiery car crash." You know, feminists, feminists, Well, they throw some Patreon. Well, throw some money at Mr. Romine. He deserves it. He's been bullied online. Rap and date threats, death and rape. They're gonna do things to him. You gotta save him, feminists. Why don't you save him? This is right up your alley. Come on, he's being harassed on the internet. Come on. He deserves a bunch of funding because you know this is why we need feminism. This is why we need feminism because people get to push Mr. Romine around and stuff. You should be you go fuck yourself.